Hello viewers, today we are going to learn about trade secret litigation. If a trade secret is disclosed in a violation of written agreement and the parties cannot resolve the dispute themselves, an action for breach of contract may be brought, similar to any other breach of contract action. So, normally there will be a written confidential agreement between the employee and the employer. It makes sure that employee do not disclose any kind of secret information of the company to the third party. If by breaching this agreement, employee is disclosing the secret information to the others and this thing is find out by the company, then this company will take this matter to the court as similar as any other contract of any kind. So normally everybody knows that if a contract made between more than one party, if anybody breaches the contract, then they are eventually drawn to the court. The plaintiff may add other causes of action as well. For example, for misappropriation in violation of state trade secret law, if no written agreement exists, the plaintiffs must rely upon case law or state statutes protecting trade secrets or both. So this point speaks about, before we understand this point, I would like to tell you one more time what is plaintiff means. Plaintiff is a person who takes the person to the court. In this case, employer who finds out the employee breaching the contract. So what employer does? Employer takes employee to the court. So employer is the plaintiff here. So whoever goes to the court on an issue is a plaintiff. Now, what this point says is the plaintiff may add other causes of action in case of absence of written agreement. If there is a written agreement between the employee and the employer, employer can directly go to the court saying this employee breached the contract. If there is no agreement, what this employer should do? He should add other causes of action, such as, you know, whatever the actions he did, how they were against the trade secret law that were generally made earlier. To protect itself against lawsuit by another alleging trade secret violation, companies should require new employees who still have access to confidential information to acknowledge in writing that accepting employment with the new company does not violate any other agreement or violate any other obligation of confidentiality to which the employee may be subject. So, in order to protect this lawsuit, what companies will do is whenever a employee signs for a offer letter, signs on an offer letter, that is employment offer letter. In that offer letter, it clearly mentions that whenever they joins new companies, I mean after leaving the current company, and if they go to the other company in the future, even that particular point of time they'll not going to disclose any of the previous company's information. That will be mentioned in the agreement. If grounds for federal jurisdiction exists, the parties have diverse citizenship and the claim exceeds $75,000, the action may be brought in federal court. So, if the case involves both parties having diverse citizenship. What is diverse citizenship means? A person who has the citizenship of United States of America and the other person has the citizenship of Mexico or Canada or any other country. In this case and other cases where if the plaintiff, the person who is going to the court, is claiming more than $75,000 as a penalty, these type of cases will be dealt in the federal court of United States. Trade secret litigation, let us look into little further. The UTSA, which means Uniform Trade Secret Act, provides that an action for misappropriation must brought within 3 years after misappropriation is discovered or reasonably should have been discovered. So once the company goes to the court on the misappropriation of trade secret, it should be solved within 3 years, or else it will damage the original trade secret owner. In federal court, actions will be governed by the federal rules of civil procedure relating to federal civil actions generally. So, normally in federal court, all rules and regulations and the procedures will be governed by the federal rules of civil procedure. Most states have rules relating to civil procedure that are modeled substantially after the federal rules of civil procedure and likewise govern the litigation. So, most of the state rules are designed on the basis of federal rules of civil procedure. So there will be not many changes in the state rules and the federal rules. If the defendant has cause of action to assert against the plaintiff relating to the trade secret, it must be asserted by way of counterclaim in the litigation so that all disputes between the parties relating to the information can be resolved at the same time. If a plaintiff goes to the court claiming that one of the person is misappropriating the trade secret, the defendant, the one who is facing the case, should counter the file or the counter the claim at the same time of the dispute, so that what happens, both of these issues are going to be solved. Not only this, both whatever the issues they have relating to each other in terms of trade secret violation or whatever the case is happening, all that particular things can be added at one particular point of time. So all the disputes will be considered to solve this case. Trade secret litigation. Furthermore, ultimately, if the matter cannot be resolved by private agreement, it will proceed to trial. The trade secret owner must provide misappropriation by preponderance of evidence. Either party may request a jury trial, otherwise, a judge will render the decision. Appeals may follow. So, if both parties are unable to settle outside the court, then it is inevitable that these both parties have to undergo a trial, or else both of the parties may request for jury trial. One of the difficult issues in the trade secret litigations arises from the fact that the trade secret sought to be protected often must be disclosed in the litigation so that judge or jury can evaluate whether the information is sufficiently valuable that it affords to its owner a competitive advantage. Yeah, this is the most difficult aspect of trade secret litigation. If plaintiff goes to the court claiming somebody misappropriating the trade secret, they need to reveal their trade secret to the court, so that this court is going to check the trade secret whether it is valuable to the company and whether it is really misappropriated by the others. In either way, it's been disclosed to the one more third party person, which is not good to protect any kind of trade secret. Similarly, the owner's methods of protecting the information often must be disclosed so that fact finder can determine whether the owner has taken reasonable measures to protect the alleged trade secrets. So, and plaintiff also has to provide all the information regarding how he is been trying to protect his trade secrets. What are the methods he employed to protect the trade secrets? All these things should be revealed to the fact finding committee of the court. The dilemma faced by the trade secret owner is that they must disclose the very information they seek to protect. Yeah, this is the fact. So, this owner of trade secret should provide every information to the courts that they wanted to protect. That means they are disclosing the information to the another party that they wanted to protect, which is not a good thing for protecting something. As technology progresses and the value of certain communication and entertainment inventions increases, Trade secret litigation is becoming an increasingly common and high stakes occupation. Yes, technology has its own advantages. However, in this protecting trade secret or intellectual property rights, increasing technology making things very complex, because advancing technology making the people to get the information whichever they wanted. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for this channel for more videos.